Advisory educational presentation. It's been said that most people spend more time planning a one-week vacation than planning for their retirement. With that in mind, we would like to thank you for spending the next few exciting and informative minutes with us. Some of what you will learn over the next few minutes will include the importance of a common sense approach to investing for your retirement, the meaning of a syndicated mortgage, how you can use your RRSP or other registered funds to invest in Tier 1 syndicated mortgage product, why syndicated mortgages are becoming the choice of educated investors, the importance of a properly diversified portfolio, and much more. All investors should pay careful attention to this disclaimer and read it carefully. This disclaimer contains information with regards to risk factors, forward-looking statements, projections, expectations, business processes, and future events. Please read this information carefully. You are encouraged to seek independent financial and legal advice. Let's talk a little bit about who we are. Tier 1 Advisory specializes in financing real estate-related projects in Canada. Tier 1 Advisory works with reputable and experienced developers to carefully select the projects to represent. The safety of your investment is the principal criteria that determine the projects we choose. Tier 1 Advisory believes you can mitigate risk by investing in mortgages for real estate development projects. In their previous roles before Tier 1 Advisory, our experienced team members combined have managed billions of dollars in real estate assets and development projects. These individuals have come together to form Tier 1 Advisory. Our team exercises a high degree of due diligence in screening the best projects to invest in. To learn more about the Tier 1 team, I encourage you to visit our website. Tier 1 Advisory's syndicated mortgage product gives investors a unique opportunity to participate in high-profile, large-scale real estate development projects that are not usually accessible to individual investors. We ensure the structure of the syndicated mortgage product gives transparency to the investors. We take measures to alleviate risk by conducting due diligence on selected projects and develop contingency plans for exit and favor projects that have attractive investment parameters. We ensure that transactions between parties are handled professionally and efficiently. We would like to stress that you are the lender entering into a relationship with the developer. In other words, you are the lender and the developer is the borrower. Tier 1 Advisory's role is simply to facilitate the transaction between you and the developer by managing all parties involved in the process. I'm sure you would agree with me that your investment vehicle matters. A poorly designed portfolio will take you longer to achieve your goals, whereas with an efficiently designed portfolio, you will arrive at your destination much sooner. Tier 1 Advisory's mission is to educate Canadians in making sound financial decisions when investing for their retirement through a common sense approach. Some Canadians retire and live below the poverty line, dependent on friends, family, and the government for their primary source of retirement income. Unlike the majority of Canadians that follow an outdated approach to investing, a syndicated mortgage will allow you to invest like the few that truly understand the importance of a well-diversified portfolio. Over $1 trillion is currently invested in RRSPs and other registered accounts, some of which are underperforming. Ask yourself, are you satisfied with the past and current performance of your RRSP portfolio? Will your current investment strategy take you to financial freedom? Tier 1 Advisory's syndicated mortgage product can change your retirement outcome by applying common sense investing. Is your investment portfolio bike number 1 or bike number 2? In other words, is your investment portfolio poorly designed, or is it built with long-term safety in mind to get you to your destination much sooner? According to Robert Kiyosaki, the author of bestseller Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Unfair Advantage, educated investors invest across the 4 primary asset classes. 1. Business. This is the number 1 asset a person can own, but it is also the most difficult to start. 2. Real estate. Residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural. 3. Paper assets. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, etc. 4. Commodities. Oil, gold, iron ore, wheat, etc. Diversify your portfolio to mitigate risk by adding mortgages backed by real estate. By investing in Tier 1's syndicated mortgage product, you are now investing like an educated investor. Let's take a look at another reason you need to have a well-diversified portfolio. The historical performance of the Dow Jones Industrial Average over the past 111 years provides a compelling case for diversification. From 1900 to 2011, The average total return of the Dow Jones Industrial Average was approximately 9.4%. From 1929, 8.8%. From 1932, 11.1%. Over the past 25 years, 10.5%. The last 20 years, 9.4%. The last 10 years, 4.5%. And for the last 5 years, 2.3%. Based on the performance of the Dow Jones Industrial Average over the past 111 years, one thing is clear. If you want a different outcome over the next 10 years, you need to change your approach to investing. This means adopting a common sense approach. At this point in the presentation, you are likely asking yourself, what is a syndicated mortgage and how does it work? A syndicated mortgage allows several smaller investors to combine their resources to fund large-scale real estate development projects via a mortgage instrument. A syndicated mortgage is a contractual agreement between you, the lender, and the borrower, the developer. It has a defined term with a fixed interest rate and a charge against the property. Your mortgage investment has a charge against the land and building. Every investor has their full face amount registered in their favor at the Land Title Office with a charge against the property as collateral. Syndicated mortgages will be subordinated to construction financing. While there are no shares or units that fluctuate in value like mutual funds or segregated funds, it is important to note that the underlying real estate value can fluctuate in value. A syndicated mortgage allows you to use your registered funds to invest. A syndicated mortgage allows you to mitigate risk by including an asset backed by real estate. The typical portfolio includes stocks, bonds, and cash. Although that is a diversified portfolio, to further diversify, you need to include an asset class such as mortgages backed by real estate. I'm sure you will agree with me that real estate has created tremendous wealth over the past 100 years. Like all investments, syndicated mortgages have risk. Here are some of the risks associated with a syndicated mortgage investment. To find out how Tier 1 addresses these risks, get back to the person who invited you to this presentation. You are likely asking yourself, is this a new concept? The answer is no. Syndicated mortgages have been around for decades, but have typically been reserved for wealthy investors and financial institutions. Syndicated mortgages have been utilized to finance large-scale development projects in most major cities across this great country. It's only within the past few years that syndicated mortgages have become available to the broad base of investors, and as a result, more and more Canadians are investing into this type of investment vehicle. Let's take a look at one of the ways the banks invest. When this family is ready to buy their dream home, they will go to the bank for a mortgage. The conversations would go something like this. You come up with approximately 20% and we will lend you the remaining 80% by way of a mortgage. Now, our family has 100% of the money required to buy their dream home. Naturally, these percentages will vary from case to case. When banks lend money for a mortgage, they protect their investment by the bank places a charge against the property for the value of the mortgage. If the mortgager borrower defaults on the mortgage, the bank could foreclose on the property or put it up for sale. If the mortgager sells the property, the bank must be paid out at the time of the sale. Would you agree with me that this is a very safe way to invest? What if you too could invest with the same degree of safety and by using your RRSPs? Here are just a few compelling reasons to invest in a Tier 1 syndicated mortgage. Your principal. Your investment has a charge against Canadian real estate. Your investment is registered at the Land Title Office against the property as your collateral. Fixed returns. Your interest is paid quarterly. 8% annual simple interest, additional 4% for each year of the contract paid upon completion of the project. Defined timeline. Investment terms are typically 24 to 48 months. Diversification. Investors mitigate risk by investing in multiple asset classes. Eligibility. A syndicated mortgage is RRSP, RIF, LIRA, TFSA, and RESP eligible. Accessibility. Allows you to invest in projects typically reserved for large financial institutions and the wealthy. Transparency. Tier 1 Advisory offers transparency on all syndicated mortgages offered by the developers. Simplicity. The underlying investment. A mortgage contract is widely held and understood by almost all investors. Common sense investing can give you peace of mind. Here is a small sampling of past projects completed by the developers Tier 1 works with. Solara Condominiums, Toronto. Development budget $22 million. Status successfully completed on time and on budget. Touchstone on Lake Muskoka, Bracebridge. Development budget $45 million. Status successfully completed on time and on budget. York Mills Gardens Shopping Center, Toronto. Leslie and York Mills. Development budget $22 million. Project sold for $36 million in 2004. Status successfully completed on time and on budget. Before we take a look at our current projects, the investment minimums are as follows. RRSP and all other registered accounts $25,000, cash $25,000, and TFSA $20,000. To date, Tier 1 has completed financing for a number of projects, including a retirement facility in Bracebridge, a project in Muskoka, as well as low-rise condos in the GTA. Some of our current projects include villages at Legacy Lane, Huntsville, Ontario, total raise $3 million. Kingston Commons, Toronto, Ontario, total raise $4 million. Memory Care, Oakville, Ontario, total raise $12.5 million. Our mandate is to build 20 to 25 memory care facilities over the next few years. Now, you might be asking yourself, why such a huge focus on memory care facilities? The population of Canada continues to age dramatically as the baby boomers reach age 60. Today, it is estimated that over 500,000 Canadians have Alzheimer's disease or some sort of a related dementia, with approximately some 71,000 of them being under the age of 65. More than 50% of Canadians and their families could be facing Alzheimer's disease or a related dementia in just 5 years. If nothing changes, more than over 1 million Canadians will have Alzheimer's disease or related dementia within 25 years. Approximately 36% of Canadians know someone with Alzheimer's disease. Today in Canada, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's or related dementia once every 5 minutes. Even with 20 to 25 facilities built, we will accommodate less than 1% of those in need of care. This kind of demand-to-supply ratio represents a great investment opportunity. That's just common sense. In closing, syndicated mortgages are secured by underlying real estate, allows you to grow your wealth for a better future, allows you to earn up to 12% per annum, 8% fixed plus 4% bonus at the end of the mortgage term. All investments have risks. You are encouraged to obtain independent financial and legal advice before investing. At this point in the presentation, you are likely asking yourself, now that I understand the importance of applying common sense investing, the importance of having a well-diversified portfolio, the importance of adding real estate-backed investments to my portfolio, what do I do next? Get back to the person who invited you to this presentation to get any of your questions answered. Decide if you would like to invest with cash or transfer a portion of your existing RRSP portfolio. Complete the necessary paperwork. You are encouraged to obtain independent financial and legal advice before investing. Let me leave you with this. It's up to you to take control of your financial security by taking action today. In order for things to change, you have to change. I would like to encourage you to get back to the person who invited you to this presentation to get your questions answered and put yourself on the path to financial peace of mind by investing in Tier 1 Advisory's syndicated mortgage product. We thank you for listening, and may your journey to financial success be filled with security and peace of mind.